8 valley villagers, 1 crown, 1 chance to slay. They'll design the best Sharksnap. They'll glam up, they'll risk it all. Welcome to Mr. Left Shark Main Stage.
And shine, old style, simply divine. Scarlet's looks are fire hot, Coco sweet, chic and cozy. Laney face magic is everywhere. Crescent smile is graceful like coral gleam. Keto senpai and Tanny all cheer. The judges are here in the valley where dreams all play. Slay or slay.
Hi everyone, Mr. Left Shark here, and welcome to the second episode of Slate or Slayed. Since last week's episode there was no elimination, this week all of our cast are here to compete. Once upon a time, 8 valley villagers took the runway to prove they're the fairest of them all. It's the night of 1000 princesses, and tonight magic is couture. From dreamy gowns to storybook twists, we're serving royal realness. And who's best to help me judge their happily ever after? The sparkle-hearted sweetheart herself, Tanny's here!
Hello everyone, your Queen Tanny has arrived, and she's entering her villain era and ready to judge.
For the first review of this week, we have Scarlet.
For this week's Sharksnap, I wanted to embody a princess, but I wanted to do it with a twist. I really wanted to embrace what we consider the modern day princess or the modern day queen. So a lot of times we see them at fairs and galas, and they have their big, amazing hats on. So I was wearing a hat, but I wanted to also make it a little sultry. So I'm wearing a little black dress to accentuate a modern princess. And I'm hanging out with the other princesses, and we are doing a runway show in which we're showing off our style, and I'm showing them what it takes to be a modern princess. I included Minnie in it because even though she's not technically a princess, to me, she will always be a Disney princess in her amazing being the first Disney character woman. So I included her in it as well. I really wanted to embody fun and just what it takes to be a princess. And I wanted to get the different princesses and all their different genres and eras as well in this Dream Snap. I went for a more bright and fun and beautiful Dream Shark Snap for this week. And so I hope you enjoy it.
Scarlet, I think your snap is a bit of a risk. You've gone with a very modern take of a princess, which obviously can be a bit risky for how we picture and view princesses. However, I do think this is a beautiful submission. I love how it looks like you're working this fashion runway and perhaps showing the classic princesses what a modern day princess is. I do think it is quite fun and enjoyable. There are a couple of things that I noticed, like the cafe in the background on the right hand side, but we don't have somewhere to balance it on the left. I think we could have done a bit of balance in here, but I do think this is a beautiful snap, and I think it's a fun, risky submission.
Scarlet, I think that the snap you've made is pretty cute, and it's really giving modern princess, like you said. I like that you're using Anna, Ariel, Belle, Tiana, Aurora, and even Minnie. Like you said, Minnie for you as a princess, and I think that that's a good choice you've made there. I like that you reuse the Vitalist lantern in your hand to do a little callback. I'm just sad that, the lantern we have, which is technically the same, is a bit more like brown and golden, but that's out of your control. But it's not changing anything about your snap. Like Tani said, I wish we could have a bit of symmetry with seeing another building on the left. Even if you cannot put the same building, at least to have something, because we have red, and then there's something missing there. I think that going modern princess was a good choice. However, might be a bit risky, and the flower you put in the bubble, to me, are taking off of the picture. But that's only me. But outside of that, the color beautiful, the action is there. You did a pretty snap, Scarlet. Good job. The next one in line is Jam.
So this is my snap for the week, and I really, really like how this turned out. I wanted to kind of represent each princess in a different way through using their castles or like using the lanterns from Tangled. And I tried to get this like just pretty sky with the Mickey cloud. I really am just happy with how this turned out. I wanted to do the purple bushes, kind of showing the royal side of life, as purple is the color of royalty. And then I went with more of a Belle look on myself, and then using Aurora, who is my favorite princess, along with me. It was just a personal choice for me, as like I said, she's my favorite princess of the group. So yeah, I really liked this theme. I liked how this turned out. And yeah.
Jam. What a perfect coloration you have on that picture. What to say? First of all, I want to say good job on getting all those castles working. I think that the snap is really pretty. I like that you use aura. The glitter at the bottom of the picture are well placed. There's no missing glitter. The firework are even working on one of the castle. I like that you use all of the castle of the princesses in your picture, like it's a big neighborhood of princess. What I'm gonna say here is I think that the purple bush are taking too much place for the picture. Doesn't remove that the coloration in the picture overall is pretty. It's just I think that there's too many bush, and I know how much you like bushes. So Jam, outside of the bushes, this is really pretty, but they're really distracting to me when I look at that. But overall, Jam, that snap is absolutely amazing. Good job, Jam.
Jam, this is an absolutely beautiful submission. I do love how your character looks a kind of different take on Belle. I love that you've included Aurora. It's great to include extra characters, I think, for this challenge, which is centered around princesses, so kind of like plural. I love that you've included a Mickey cloud. I do really enjoy that. I love the subtle detail of the fireworks going off in the background. However, if I did have a critique, it would be the purple bushes. I feel like there's too much of them, and I feel like it detracts away from some of the beautiful elements you've included, like the lion statues, some of the chandeliers and things like the candelabras. I think it detracts away, and it almost creates a visual viewpoint, but it kind of leads to nothing. If I was going to do something to fix this up, I probably would have scooted the Corona Castle across to the left, just to give a visual focal point for where the these bushes lead to, because at the moment it's kind of like they don't have a direction. So I would just clean it up a little in that regard. But this is beautiful, well lit, gorgeous, definitely getting all those royalty vibes, which is just fantastic.
Coco, tell us everything about your Sharksnap.
So for my snap, I decided to go on more of like a very colorful aspect, and instead of including a lot of princesses, given the theme was 1,000 princesses, I wanted to make the focal point Ariel for mine because I grew up watching The Little Mermaid basically like every day when I was very, very young. And so The Little Mermaid has a very special place in my heart, and I thought it would be really nice to have my character dressed up as Ariel in her really pretty pink ball gown, and Eric in the foreground bowing to her, and her just being very giddy and excited that Eric is giving all of his attention to her. And I wanted to add this nice little walkway to the castle, almost as if he's greeting her at the entrance, ready to escort her inside. I got really lucky that I had the Mickey Cloud over there, and I think it really helped create depth in the photo because you can see Eric is in the foreground, and then you notice Ariel, and then you go to the back and see the Mickey Cloud. So it adds a little nice transition to go and take your eyes all over the image instead of just focusing on the central focus. So that was my inspiration and idea behind the snap.
Hot Coco, I adore this submission. It is so beautiful. It's just so clean. A lot of people might think this is simple, but I just think it works. I don't think it needs to be over the top cluttered. I just think it's very clear and concise, and I think that's good. I personally love that because it really means you can focus on some of the other little details, such as the Mickey Cloud in the background, Eric bowing towards you posed as Ariel. I just think that's absolutely beautiful, and I think the lighting here is superb. If I had one critique, it would be the Nightmare Castle. I feel like it doesn't belong in the lineup. I'm not sure it's adding anything necessarily. It kind of adds a bit of an evil vibe where I don't think there needs to be one. And given that you have 5 castles already, I kind of don't see where this is balancing kind of thing. So I would have just taken out the Nightmare Castle, but I think this is absolutely beautiful.
Coco, oh my god, that Mickey Cloud. I don't know, did you wait a long time to get it? Because, girl, that cloud is perfect. I'm gonna agree with Tani here. The first thing that popped when I looked at the castle was the Nightmare Castle. I don't think that castle is placed there. Outside of that, all the other castles you use are fine. I wish I could have seen a bit more princesses. However, with those castle, I can understand that they might be inside. So, yeah. But outside of that, the color are pretty. The blue skies is making those castle pop. Eric has his peaches out, and they are the best peaches. And Ariel, you're Ariel actually, and that's a pretty smart choice to do here. You did a good job, Coco. Pretty colorful. The only critiques I have here is really the Nightmare Castle didn't have his place there. Outside of that, amazing job on your Sharksnap, Coco. Monsieur Mike, mon ami, c'est à votre tour. It's your turn.
Hi. So for this week's snap, I decided to pay tribute to Ariel in a different way than usual. That's why I used this location, because I wanted to mix the Eternity Isle ruins with the mermaid's pieces of furniture and Ariel's house. I have to say that I don't like them usually. All these very colorful pieces of furniture or house that I don't know what to do with in my valley. But I thought that the mix of all of this with this location gave an ancient look that fitted the vibe of Ariel very well, because I wanted Ariel to look like almost a queen, and have something like a badass vibe, warrior princess, if it makes sense. So here it is. Here is my snap. Thank you.
Mike. Okay, I'm gonna say this is stunning. The way you use that glow behind your character to make you pop is amazing. I will agree with you, those furniture piece, not my favorite. However, you found a way to make them work with your scene, and that's what I like about you. I would have seen that snap again, and I think I said it, or I'm going to say it in the future because this is a re recording, but the way you've used everything there, I would have known it was a picture from you. So, Mike, again, amazing. I love how you use the little instrument to give you like bubble, that you use the leaves and the water to give them a purple reddish color. Mike, I'm just blown away by that picture. This is so pretty. I would love to see a bit more princesses. You know, like Coco had mini castle, you only have one, but it's not taking the picture, anything out of the picture for you. So, Mike, good job.
Mike, how glorious is this? You have taken something which I would typically call ugly and made it beautiful. I do not like a lot of the decor pieces you've used. The mermaid decor is definitely not my favorite. I didn't ever really like the color palette. I felt it was too... I don't even want to say campy because I feel like campy would be fun. It's just a bit too garish for me. So I never really liked these items. However, you have transformed this into such a wonderful, wonderful shot. What I really love is how your character looks, the way she is looking off wistfully to the distance, the glow behind her character. I just think that's absolutely fabulous. I have no idea how you've achieved this look and pose, but it is absolutely fantastic. And I really love this reimagining of Ariel being a queen, whether she stayed in the water or if this is a reuniting of water and land. She just looks so regal and so royal. And I love how you've combined all these clothing pieces together and it just really, really works. This is absolutely fantastic. Such a wonderful, wonderful creation. I am in awe. This is fantastic. No critiques whatsoever.
The next one in line is our beautiful Odie.
For this week's Slay or Slayed submission, I saw the title Night of a Thousand Princesses, and I knew that I wanted to gather as many princesses as possible for my scene. I included the red carpet underneath my avatar, separated the princesses by the red ribbons to make it look like I had just arrived and they were greeting me. I included the palace in the background and added castle walls on both sides to kind of create an illusion that the castle was actually bigger than it actually is in game. And I just wanted it to look like a royal, beautiful girls' gathering of sorts.
Out. Oh my god, this is out of this world. I love this. I love how you've gathered the princesses here together. I just think it's absolutely wonderful. The way your character looks, the way you've designed her, this from behind shot. I absolutely adore this close-up image. I love a close-up. I am obsessed with a good close-up image, and I think this is absolutely fantastic. I love how you've twisted the banners around so we don't get that 70th anniversary emblem. I didn't even know they were different on the reverse side. Now I know that, I might use these banners some more because they look so much better without that symbol on them. So I love this. You've obviously taught me something new here. Having the princesses stare at your character is absolutely fantastic as well. Brilliant job with that. I think if I had one critique, it would be that I would like to see something break up the kind of monotony of the grey walls and then this bare green kind of hedging. Whether that's adding some extra florals or some climbing up through the actual castle towers, whether it's through trees or something, just something to add a bit of different color dimension, I would absolutely love. But I think this is perfect. This is absolutely fantastic. Your skill with gathering the characters, your skill with the camera work, this is just incredible.
Oat, the way you picture all those princesses in one place with that castle in the back, and the way you extended actually this castle is amazing. The color bright, like Tiny said, those banner reverse are more useful now, so thank you for the tips. The red ribbon, you know, like they're the paparazzi watching you. It's just beautiful. I love that you broke that gray and that blue that are similar colored with that green edge there. Oh, this is just stunning. The blue, the gold are reflecting through the sunlight. It's just beautiful. Like Danny said, maybe something, you know, firework or, you know, a bit more fireflies. Maybe behind the castle wall could have been good to but to break that blue a little bit. But outside of that, this is just stunning. Good job, Oat. Chris, my friend, you're up next.
The first thing that popped into my head when I saw this theme was a dream snap that I had done a long time ago when we very first got the Belle Starlight bundle. So I decided that the way I'd celebrate a night of 1,000 princesses was to do a princess slumber party in the Ever After. So I decided to dress up my character as Belle, and I invited Jasmine, Ariel, Rapunzel, Aurora, and Anna over for a royal sleepover under the stars. I really wanted the crescent moon hanging over Beast Castle in the background, and I wanted to add plenty of sparkle and grandeur, so I filled it in with royal rugs, canopied sleepover beds, plenty of sleepover snacks, and a fancy outdoor fireplace with a reading nook because, after all, it is Belle's sleepover. Now, I do know that it was a bit of a risk doing a nighttime shot since the colors don't always pop quite as much as if you did a sunset shot, but I just really wanted to capture the magic of a starlit sleepover. It did take me a bit of time just to get all the princesses to do a good pose for the picture, but I love the way that it all turned out. Bright, sparkly, and just the right touch of royal glam for a princess night out. And that's my submission for this week.
Chris, what to say about this? I love it, but there's some details that I think were missed by you. But let's start with what I love about this picture. I love the color. I like the sky, the night sky. I love those firefly. You used a good selection of princess. And your avatar is stunning, well lit, and the glitter at the bottom of the picture are just amazing. However, the grass that is not tame to me is a big issue here. Doesn't take away the picture, just to me, I really don't like to see those grass covering up furniture. And let's talk about furniture. As much as I love your idea there were some furniture like, you know, that fireplace that I don't necessarily appreciate. I would have loved to see maybe Rapunzel a bit closer. But that's those little details that I'm picking here. But outside of that tame grass and, you know, maybe a bit too mismatch of furniture, the overall picture is just stunning. Everything is placed properly. Chris, you did an amazing job here. Attaining that color at night is just showing that you're mastering the lighting in DLV. So good job and continue like that, Chris. Thank you.
Chris, what a risk. You have done a nighttime shot, and I know that's very daring because it is incredibly hard to make nighttime shots look good. It is so easy for a nighttime shot to just be dull and dark, and I like that you've taken a risk, and I really like that you lent into the theme of the challenge. You know, the challenge was to do Night of 1,000 Princesses. So you were like, okay, bet, nighttime, let's make it night. So I love that you've taken that risk. You know, you've done something which the others haven't really done, which I just think is genius, to be honest. And I like your bravery in that. And I think that's something to be commended. I do love this. I love how the moon looks. I love the little Mickey peeking over the trees. I just think that's wonderful. If there was one thing I would say about this, I feel like the floor feels a bit cluttered, a bit messy. I don't know if it needs some pathing down or something like that, but just something feels a bit messy and uncohesive. Maybe the structure needs to be a bit more clearer. It's a bit more chaotic. However, I do think this is beautiful. I think your character really pops and stands out. The yellow gown is really vibrant and vivid, especially at the front of the shot. And I love the makeup detailing as well to match the dress. I just think that's fantastic.
Topher, tell us what you did this week.
Okay, so for my Night of 1,000 Princesses, our runway gala evening, I decided to do an actual runway, but to show it from the backstage. So right now we're here at our gala. It's Elsa's moment. She's out front. She's reading her speech. She's doing her thing. And we're seeing from the backstage view where me in my princess outfit and Princess Ariel are, supporting our bestie while she's out doing her thing, having her moment. I kind of tried to use the fireflies to make it look like there were, photographers out in the audience, taking pictures of her, flashes from the cameras while she's doing her thing. And we're back here backstage supporting our bestie. And you can see, the area around in the backstage where, the vanities, the makeup, where we're getting ready, and fabrics and sewing. Just kind of tried to give it the vibe of the backstage at some kind of runway fashion show gala type thing, and show it from this perspective. Do something a little different, but still get our runway in there and our gala, and have our Night of 1,000 Princesses.
Topher, my friend, what a beautiful submission. This is so gorgeously symmetrical. I just think it's fantastic. There are some subtle differences. We have the sewing machine compared to the bag, the purple bag. We also have the two lady present gift boxes, which are just slightly out of alignment. And of course, because it's kind of like a mirrored image or symmetrical, we do have slight variances in the table decor, but that's due to the fixed decor on the tables. Nothing you could do about that. But I think that subtle little difference really adds to the submission. I don't think it takes away, which I think is really, really fun. I love the background. This background here, the way it looks like it goes on for miles, and the lights. You've used some like fireflies here or something, but they almost look like lights from the crowd. Again, with the starlight projectors, it almost looks like lights from the crowd, from the audience, which I think is just fantastic. It really adds a sense of depth. This room, this space feels way bigger than what it is. And I just think that's absolutely marvelous. I really, really love that. If I had another critique though, or if I had a critique, I do think you could have done more to either match Ariel or contrast. At the moment, it kind of looks like you're trying to match with the pink, but then you've gone for this darker hairstyle. And I feel like if you'd have gone red, it would have been better as a pairing. However, if you were trying to be different or unique, I would have gone with a dress that wasn't pink. I hope you can see what I mean. Like, I just feel like you either needed to be a bit more different or a bit more the same. You're kind of like in an in-between space, and it kind of unbalances the shot, if that makes sense. So I would have liked to have seen that balance reclaimed, or just really heavily lean into that contrast. But I do absolutely love this submission. Gorgeous work with the symmetry. Very, very well centered, which I know can be a very hard thing to achieve.
Topher, what you did here is just amazing. And like Danny said, your scene looked like it's never ending. The way you set up the stage and having Elsa read something while the two princesses are getting ready to get shown up on stage is just mind-blowing. I agree with Tenny, you know, the gift box, I would have loved to see them a bit more centered. Outside of that, I don't dislike that, you know, on the table you don't see the same stuff. I just love this shot, Topher. The way you presented it, it's just amazing. And let's take a note here. It's an inside shot. You really did it well, and it's just stunning. I would have loved to be a bit closer to the picture, but outside of that, it doesn't remove the fact that this is just pleasing to the eyes. Good job, Topher. Well guys, this was episode 2 of Slate or Slade. Due to a loss of audio, I don't have the part where we announce a winner. So let's do it now. The winner of this week's challenge is Oat. Congratulations, my friend, on that well-deserved win. Thank you guys for what are you saying, guys? Where's the quick snap? Actually, there was no elimination this week. However, we had someone leaving the competition due to last-minute schedule conflict. Scarlet will be leaving the competition. She was a blast to have with us. Her creativity was amazing, and she will be missed. Thank you again, Scarlet, for being part of Slayer Slade. On that note, guys, I can't wait to read your comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!